Shalom, party people, and welcome to the 12th C. It is November 8, 2022. At the time of my run, it was like 66, 67 degrees Fahrenheit. I ran at, I think, approximately like 2-ish p.m., 2:30 p.m., and I actually enjoyed running on a hiking trail today that I haven't run on in a little while, but my feet still remembered all of the little roots and rocks and pebbles and ducked under all of the branches and things. It was a lot of fun. I really love trail running, and something that I haven't had a whole lot of time to do since having kiddos. But it's something that I look forward to be able to doing a little bit more here and there as time permits. All in all, I am going to do this 100% off the cuff like I've been doing the last couple, although I'm probably going to be switching back to notes in the foreseeable future because there's a lot that I want to talk about, but don't really have all the thoughts fully formulated for the time being. Anyway, so I was 197.6 pounds today when I weighed myself. I did complete my gallon. I got my photo done. I skipped breakfast but had a large lunch. I had some stir fry that was like teriyaki stir fry, and it was pretty good. I had a whole bunch of spinach and carrots, and I had 2 apples. And then I had some sugar-free crackers and chips. And then for dinner tonight, I had probably a normal human-sized portion of chicken and rice, and that was really good. All in all, I've been working through the 12 rules for life, pursuing what's meaningful and not what's expedient, and really wanting to chew on that some more over the next little bit. And then don't bother kids when they're skateboarding. Something that I'm still chewing on more, and not that I don't have some aspect of those concepts already in my life, but really hashing them out more. There's more in those 12 rules for life that I really want to keep chewing on and talk through. Probably tomorrow I'll make a video. I know the other day I promised that I would be working with some tools that work on getting rid of things that are alive, several dozen to a couple of 100 yards away. And that was something that I just made that command decision that I wasn't going to put that on video. I obviously am not going to show any of the tools, whether they're mine or somebody else's, but I was trying to think about how I was going to film what I was going to do, and I took some photos. And if anybody's in my text group, or if you have my personal number and you want to see some of those photos, I'd be glad to send them to you, but I don't have any of my tools in those photos for obvious reasons. It's something that I just don't want to show off what I've got. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day that if somebody who is just coming over to my house, or somebody on the street or whatever, if they see the tools that I have to defend myself and my family or put food on my table, outside of the context of, hey, you're coming hunting with me, or hey, let's go to the range and let's practice these set things. Outside of those contexts, if you see the tools that I have to put food on my table or to defend my life or my family's life, or to resist tyranny, if you see those for any reason other than the caveat of, hey, we're going to practice these specific things, or you're coming with me and we're gonna go hunt some food, if you see those tools outside of those two contexts, I have failed at my job. And chewing on that a little bit, pontificating on that a little bit, here's my thought. The first resort should not be going to those tools. The last resort should be using those tools for what they were designed for. And people who look at things that go bang are like, oh, they're designed for killing. Yes, they are. They are designed for killing. They are tools for doing so. Just like a hammer is designed for driving a nail, A firearm is designed for taking life. Now, firearms can be used for preserving life by either taking life in the application of hunting or taking life in the application of self-defense or resistance to tyranny. That being said, they are not our go-to. If you think that whipping those bad boys out is the first way to solve a problem, that is wrong. We need to be ever vigilant. We need to take reasonable precautions to secure our homes, so that way people who do not belong there do not come in. And arguably, I would want to secure my home in such a way that people don't even get on property who don't belong there. So that, I think, is reasonable. And we can hash that out I could talk about that for probably an hour, in all honesty, and not really go fully into that subject. But putting food on the table, think about that. If you see the tools that I use for going and putting food on the table, and you're not with me when I'm putting food on that table, then I don't think that is the best context. Personally, I'm not in a situation, as you can see behind me, I don't have a farm pickup truck where that tool is laying around in the back of the truck or, in the cab or anything. It's just the part of the world that I live in. I'm not going to display those. And it's not because I'm afraid that somebody's going to come take them from me tomorrow. It's just, it is normal for, discreet carry. I don't necessarily like the term concealed carry, because concealed implies that I'm trying to hide something. Whereas I am discreetly, carrying a tool for a use. And if that tool is for hunting, you're not going to know that I have it, period, unless you are hunting with me. That's just how it goes. Because first and foremost, it's nobody else's business. Second off is I don't want to upset the general order of things by, carrying around openly a firearm. Do I believe in open carry and the idea that people should be allowed to open carry, and that society should be in such a way that people can carry and not upset people? Yeah, I do. And out in the country, it's no big deal to see somebody with a rifle or a shotgun. It's absolutely no big deal for that. But in this part of the world, if I were to sling on a tool and go walking up and down the street with it, people are going to be asking some questions. Then I'm going to be talking to some nice men with some shiny badges. And arguably, do I live in the wrong part of the world? Yeah, I would prefer to live in the country where it is normal to open carry. But that being said, I live here right now, and the aspect of coming out of for my people is something that, me and mine, we are working on, and we've got some debt to murder right now before we can ever fully establish ourselves. But the idea of having those tools, they're there, and they're not the end-all be-all for life. Now, preservation of life by putting food on the table, resisting tyranny, and by self-defense, yeah, but we resist tyranny by doing what we did today. We go to the ballot boxes and we vote, and I don't care who you voted for. I care that you went and voted. And seeing the turnout that I saw today for elections really gave me a lot of hope for this country, because people are seeing what's going on and saying, hey, I'm going to cast my ballot and voice my opinion for what's going on. And whether or not that, really counted, I don't know. But, we'll just see as the election results continue to come in as to, what people want. Is there ballot box stuffing? Yeah, probably. Is there people who are going in and buying votes? Yeah, probably. But all in all, there's a lot of people who come. This is the most number of people that I've seen coming in personally voting in a midterm election. So, I was very, very impressed. I saw more people voting today than I did in 2016 for a presidential election. So I was very, very surprised to see this level of turnout for the midterm elections. And so that is our first method of resisting tyranny, is voting. Our second method of resisting tyranny is petitioning. Our third method of voting is actually going and assembling. Our fourth is lawsuits. Going and doing those types of things are what keeps tyranny away. And if you think that tyranny needs to be removed right now, okay, well, what's your plan for that? Because the way a lot of people want to or talk about resisting tyranny is you have no real logistics plans of doing that. I would argue that conditioning, what I'm doing right now, if we would apply that beyond just our physique, if we would apply that just beyond what we're eating, if we would apply that just beyond our reading habits, just beyond our, whatever, and actually condition ourselves, the people around us, the people we love, to say, hey, we don't agree with what's going on and we want to change that. Arguably, yes, and it's more painful, but okay, we start a revolution and win it tomorrow. What does that solve? Okay, if we don't have the framework, if we aren't strong people ourselves, if we aren't building, strong families, if we aren't building strong neighborhoods, strong communities, strong cities, towns, nations, and yes, I'm borrowing that from Bear Independent because I think it is a good philosophy, is that if we ourselves are not strong people, how are we going to build a strong nation again? So that's me echoing on that line of thought. So yeah, long walk for a short drink of water. But if you see the tools that I've got, that means I've failed at my job, in this context at least, because I don't want to go and produce something as my first line of defense. Now, better believe it that if the situation demands it, I'm going to use what I've got, but that's not the first thing we should be running to. We should be avoiding situations until we can't avoid them anymore. And arguably, I think that is something that is pursuing what is meaningful and not something that is, that opportunistic, that expedient thing. Is, yeah, we want the expedient of, oh, hey, we're gonna, change the world right now. Everyone, well, maybe there is a time for grabbing torches and pitchforks, but I don't think this is that. I think the time is for building ourselves up stronger, conditioning ourselves to do better. If we are better people, maybe we will deserve a better system. And right now, is the system broken? Yeah, of course the system is broken. We live in a fallen world. That's just part of it. But I believe that when we surrender to Him, when we put our face in the dirt and say, Father, use me for your will, and whatever you say, I'll do. And then we actually spend time in His Word, spend time praying, spend time doing what He says, listening. He speaks. We listen and then say, yes, sir. That this nation will change drastically, and then the whole world too. And that's a conditioning thing. Go do hard things.